Hi everyone and welcome to this episode of Fefe and Millennial Life. Welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here. And today we're going to talk about hobbies. So I know that many people, when they say, it's like the worst question they could ever ask you. It's well, what do you like to do for fun? And internally you have like this instantaneous panic. And you're just there like, oh my God, what do I do for fun? I am so boring. Oh my God. So yeah, totally been there. And the best part is when you're like in an interview or something. And of course, when you're in the middle of interviewing is when they ask you that horrible question that should just be forbidden. But it is not. And they do ask. And yeah. So I guess it kind of got me thinking, especially now that we're hopefully, at least here in the United States, we're tying up this COVID crisis because, if you don't talk about it, it doesn't exist. We have all throughout the span of quarantine have picked up many hobbies we thought we would never even consider. As an example, I adopted about 7 different houseplants. Yes. And I think I've only lost one. No, maybe 2. One, my pet annihilated. They're all pet safe, by the way. I had to do my research before I went ahead and adopted those plants. But there was one that I overwatered. Somehow I managed to overwater an aloe vera, which I think now, after learning everything that I know, which is not much by any means, but I realized it was very easy to do it. And I thought, well, if I water it once a week, it'll be fine. No, don't do that. If you have an aloe vera plant, you just got it, please don't do that. Download an app. The app helps a lot. And at least it's helped me from hurting my plants inadvertently. And it's keeping them alive. I mean, notice that sometimes I get some like tips and stuff. And so I did buy a mister, and I don't know what really to do with it other than to mist the plant and pray that it works. I can't tell you that I've noticed a difference, but I am trying to mist the plants just to kind of keep those humidity levels good to go. But anyway, I digress. Going back to that hobby thing, right? So I picked up this random hobby. I've always told myself that ill plants, not because of ill plants, it's just because I have this irrational fear of lizards, and lizards live in plants, at least where I'm at. And so one is kind of associated with the other. That, and I'm a city girl. I grew up living, technically I'm not, because I grew up in the suburbs, but technically it was part of a city, and therefore that makes me a city girl. Do with that information what you want. And so I never really had much experience with real, if it's not sod, I didn't touch it, basically. So when I started touching dirt, touching plants, I never played with mud. I did try to grab a toad once, and that didn't fare well for my mom, who freaked out. But yeah, so my knowledge of plants is very, very small, and I'm still learning as I go. I think I have learned a lot, and I'm very proud of myself for not killing my plants inadvertently, or most of them anyway. And that's just one of the weird hobbies, or maybe not so weird, but it's one of the hobbies I picked up during this quarantine because I'm just home most of the time. And then, of course, I have my other favorite stuff, but it's really interesting how, I guess, I just think it's really interesting how we pick up random things that just pique your interest. And I know plants look really pretty, and maybe it's just that I was watching too much YouTube or seeing too many interior design things on Instagram, and it kind of just fueled that desire to own plants. And I'll be honest, the house looks so beautiful. Like in comparison to, I mean, it was beautiful before, but now it's much nicer. Has more life to it. Something that I always associated with having pets, and now it's actually having pets and plants. Just have everybody living in the same place, you know, how nature intended. I went ahead and I started looking at all this research about, you know, these hobbies and all these things just out of curiosity before doing this. And it turns out that plant ownership was actually a pretty big deal. So for those of you who own Home Depot stocks before the pandemic, I mean, other than the fact that people were, you know, drastically going through home improvement, I'm pretty sure you saw your gains when it came to plant adoption. And nurseries, I was reading up on that too. Apparently, they also saw a substantial increase in their sales. So it's kind of crazy, you know, that for me would be an odd thing. I would think, oh, well, maybe I'll take up, I don't know, going to the park. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me backtrack there for that second. I actually did, now that I remember, because everything feels like it was eons ago. I did take on going to the park. And then they decided to make it a COVID testing site. So my park got taken away. And the other park that was close to me, it closed down. At least as far as I know, it's still closed down just because of safety. And they had nesting owls and a bunch of stuff. So, I mean, okay, so maybe I did do that. But I've been hearing people start to take up marathon running, that famous Peloton that I don't understand. That's a lot of money. Oh, that's going to bring up something else. But it's people start to take up a lot of exercise activities that normally, not that you wouldn't do, you just wouldn't have real time for. Because, I mean, if you have to commute to the office or whatever, you're there having to either wake up at 5 o'clock or 4:30 in the morning to get a workout in early. Or when you're tired after staring at a computer screen all day, then you have to go and work out. And that's assuming you don't have to cook, you don't have to clean, you don't have to do laundry or any of those other responsibilities if you have children. So I know a lot of people took up exercise too. A lot of us didn't. So for a good portion, I was doing the walking thing. I was doing great. I was actually dropping some pounds, which I was very excited for. And then they made it into a COVID site, and I really had nowhere else to go. So I was stuck at home, and I didn't exactly have access to the gym either because those things were closed. And basically that's what happened. And so push comes to shove, I started considering, well, if I remodel one room from my house, maybe I can incorporate a home gym. And I live in a condo. It's not like a lot of space going on here. It's not even 1,000 square feet. So it took a lot of planning and encouragement to move and settle and sell guest furniture and then start, because initially my goal was just to make an office because, hey, if I'm working from home, might as well be comfortable, no? But we actually were able to install it's fully functional. I ended up purchasing a bike, which is where I was saying I was going to get back to that Peloton thing. I was doing research on that bike, on Peloton, because it was very tempting. And I did not buy it, and I don't think I need it. I pay for Apple Fitness, and I have my bike. It was about $400, got it off Amazon. It's pretty good quality. I haven't gotten hurt yet. So there I have my cardio element, and we were able to put this, the exercise mats. So it's like they're the black tiles, and it was pretty cool because that kind of works also as soundproofing the room so that my neighbors downstairs don't hate me more. And we were able to get a pull-up bar installed, which obviously I don't use because not with these guns. That's not going to get me anywhere. We were able to get my hammock for aerial yoga installed. We have a yoga mat, yoga ball. We do have a punching bag, but we don't really know where to put it or if it's going to work. We're kind of leaning towards the latter. I don't think it's going to work unless we remove something from this room, something else, just because we don't have enough sway space for it. Oh, and we were able to install through the pull-up bar a TRX system. So it's all well supported. I know I'm really bad at describing what this actually looks like, but it's completely functional. And like I said, I haven't gotten hurt yet. I'm still alive. I haven't died. Obviously, I'm talking to you. So, um, yeah, we were able to do that, and it's been very convenient. And especially getting that exercise in just to get you moving. If you're stuck at home all day, I mean, you're lucky if you get 4,000 steps a day. You're not going to get anything more than that, even if you're quote unquote active or decide to clean the house all day. So, I mean, exercise has definitely been a big thing. Running, yoga, that a lot of people have been getting into. And I guess from more of a sitting down type of, I guess, activities, writing. And I guess it's something that I've always written a bunch of stuff, stories, screenplays. I don't publish any of it because I am way too shy for that. But at least until this year. And by publish, I mean it's like not monetized. It is sheer hobby. I am sharing it from the little ounces, the couple ounces of courage that I have in my being to do so. Because I'm very, very shy, and guys, I'm delicate. Like, I'm sensitive. Don't judge me on that. But I ended up finding out about Wattpad, and I just ended up posting on there. And like I said, it's not anything monetized or anything like that. So I just write chapters. I add it there when I can, and I hope people are reading it. Honestly, I'm not even sure about that. And these are things that, other than writing, I kind of picked up reading again, which was nice. I used to read, I think, a couple of books. I want to say maybe 1 to 2 books a week. At one point, I was reading a lot. But I kind of fell off that bandwagon when things really started picking up. At one point, I had a terrible commute, and it was just easier not to. And so I have the Kindle app, and I've been investing. I started 3 books. I can't promise I finished any of them, but I mean, I'm almost there with some. Like, I'm still working on them. As you know, as I say, the characters can't make me very upset. If they make me upset, I don't want to hear from them anymore. And I mean, cooking, we've all had to cook a lot. Actually, last night I made like the Starbucks lemon iced cake, but all homemade. I found the recipe online, and it was just, let me tell you guys, I wish I could just transfer what I tasted and just like be like, here, you need to try this. Oh my gosh. It was so good. It was so good. I can't even begin to imagine. I mean, I'm someone that I think I've always enjoyed baking. I never did a lot of it growing up. But as I got older in college, then I started to make things or try to learn how to make things. I've destroyed things before too because, hey, I'm not perfect. But I've loved finding recipes and learning how to do a bunch of things, and just baking is fun. Also the sugar, makes you happy. I'm fat, but we're not going to talk about that, okay? This is all hobbies today. We're not talking about any weight gains here. I mean, apart from baking, I mean, I've also started learning how to use that Instant Pot that I had for like 1.5 years. And I did also finally invest in an air fryer, which is also, I get the hype. I completely understand it, and I am on that team. And if I can have an air fryer with me at all times, like, so that way if I have to have food that's cold, I just stick it in there. Oof, it's just like if you made the food at that moment. Vegetables, chicken, steaks, anything. Oh, it's so good. And I ended up buying, I think it was the Ninja brand. I mean, I buy pretty much a lot of my small appliances are Ninja. The coffee machine, the blender, the food processor, now the air fryer, toaster oven, toasters, all Ninja. I'm not saying they're the best. I'm pretty sure they're not. And I've had to deal with my other small appliances that are older, some kind of maintenance things that have been happening that I'm not too happy about. But it's convenient and it's accessible. If wherever you're at, you have something that's better than that, definitely invest in an air fryer. It will change the way you cook. And something that could take you normally half an hour to make, you're done in like 10 to 15 minutes if you time things right. So, I mean, I guess I just wanted to go over a couple of things that I've been doing during this quarantine to just entertain myself, just random hobbies that I pick up, and it kind of puts things into perspective. We kind of all just get stuck into this daily grind where you're working Monday through Friday. You're going in, working your butt off. I'm going to say you're also kicking butt while you're at it and working towards those promotions and those raises and this and that and trying to knock these projects out and get recognition. But it's like we kind of forget the small things. And sometimes you got to do something that's not work related, or even with your family. I guess just have something that's yours and help you find that inner zen so that you enjoy it. And it I'll be honest, it kind of helps with anxiety too, because now your brain is like, ooh, activity, let's do it. And you just want to, you're focused on that. You're not ruminating on other things that can go wrong, but probably won't go wrong, but you're scared they're going to go wrong anyway. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of all I got for today. I really appreciate all of you just joining us in on this for this episode. And I appreciate all of you guys taking your time to listen to me. I know I'm not the most exciting person. I try to get you guys exciting stuff to talk about. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much.